All right, welcome to another Farmington hockey game. Playing South St. Paul. West St. Paul. God, they moved on me again. So just hold still.
They're close.
They got to hold still. West St. Paul. Yeah. It'll be a heated night here at the mat. We got the boys supporting cancer tonight. Driving some of that purple and pink. Yeah, it'll be a good game. All right. Here we go. What do we got out there? We got Big Ben. We got Bennett and Cooper on D. Casano and Grossley up front. Time for the face-off. Puck back to Bennett. Bennett looking up the board. Gets to the Grossly. Grossly chips it. But that was out of the zone, and we're going to have to face off due to the offsides. Coach is sporting some colors as well, along with the boys on the bench. Back to Cooper Mako. Mako off the boards, looking for Ben. Ooh, ref stops it with the skate. Cooper picks it back up, chips it back over to West St. Paul. West St. Paul going for a long bomb, trying to chip it in the zone, gets blocked. Picked up by Cooper Mako. Mako bring it back in the zone, gets it deep. Holcomb going to give chase. West St. Paul tried to do a spinning move, centering pass, picked off by West St. Paul. Off the boards, Mako going to keep it deep, hits on West St. Paul player's skates. Picked up there by Holcomb. West St. Paul picks up, going behind their net. A little bit of body there by Grossly, and now they're breaking up, going the other way. West St. Paul looking for breaking the zone. One-handed poke check. Goes back to the D to D. Bennett looking. Get the big long pass. Oh, he gets it over to, I don't know who that is. But it's a pass, it's a shot, and it's covered up. All right, looks like that was Aiden Matson with a nice centering pass. Solid play there. All right, face-off down the West St. Paul zone. Puck, one back to the point. Point tries to get it back to Kratz, picked off by West St. Paul, heading into the other way. Some poke checking, trying to do some toe dragging. Recovered. Big rebound all the way out, and now grabbed over here by Kratz. Kratz goes the other way. Otney picks it up. Back in the zone. Pretty strong rush. Shoots it. Glove. Loose rebound. Juiciness just sitting there. Matson gets it back. Picked up here by Kratz. Kratz cycling. Nice shot off a stick. Goes over the net. Ondich in the corner. Working hard. Goes up West St. Paul. Tips out for a pass. Otney picks it up. Gets it back in the zone. Wesley Matson has it. Poke over to Ondich. West St. Paul tries to get it up. Tries to poke check around Kratz. Kratz controls the puck. Kratz giving the time to regroup. Hits Wesley. Wesley breaks it in over to Otney and covered up by West St. Paul. All right, pretty exciting game so far. Farmington doing quite well. All right, coming in, you got Sellers. You got Kurzweil. Oh, puck drop. Farmington wasn't quite ready, but that's all right. Sellers giving chase. West St. Paul breaking into the zone. Shot, kick save. Iverson into the corner. Puck going up the boards. Kurtzel puts a check on. West St. Paul holding the zone. Gets it low to their wing guy. Shot. Another pass, another save. Puck goes back into the corner. West St. Paul up to the point. D to D. Some pressure there. Nice block by Levi. West St. Paul trying to keep it in the zone. Nice poke check. Awesome pressure there. And we get offsides. Great job by Levi with the block. I like the Kurzweil-Levi combo. The way they'll pressure those point guys. Sellers, face off, back to Levi, one, back to Mako. Mako up the boards, gets waved off and back behind the net for West St. Paul. Levi's working the corner. West St. Paul gets it back, shot out in the center, gets it far to the boards, back over to Mako. Mako goes to get a deep, goes high in the sky, picked up, and a little bit of interference there by West St. Paul, not called. West St. Paul breaks into the zone. Bennett putting pressure on, pushes into the boards, and we're going to get a penalty there. They're going to call that one from behind, it looks like. Loose puck, Sellers picks it up, and cross-check is the call. Face-off down to the Farmington zone. Well, that's a bummer. I think that guy just lost an edge. I don't know if that should have been called. All right, face-off down in the Farmington zone. West St. Paul on the power play. Puck one back to West St. Paul's D. They're trying to set it up. D to D action. Looking, nice pressure there by Holcomb. West St. Paul takes a shot from the side and covered up by Iverson. The nice thing about this here is they don't hear any beers cracking. Okay? All right, game on. Face off down in the Farmington zone. Puck one back to West St. Paul's D to D. Gonna cycle it back. Nice poke check there by Holcomb. Puck comes up, Kratz grabs a loose puck. Skating down, gets it deep. Puck goes over the goalie's stick, and Casano adding some additional pressure. West St. Paul breaking out of the zone. Good penalty kill here. Holcomb gets it back, gets some fresh legs on the ice. Nice play. West St. Paul cycling back, going for a big cross ice pass there. Loses it along the boards. And, ooh, dang, I thought that was going to be a sweet hip check. All right. Puck gets cycled back again. Casano with it, off the boards. And we're going to call it an icing. All right. Back all the way down to the Farmington zone. All right, we have Andich, Kratz, Mako, and Grossly on the ice. Face off one back. Casano battling along the boards. West St. Paul trying to get up to the point. Gets it there. Lets the one fly off someone's head. Dang. That was off his head. Not much you can do there. Just more of a let it fly and hope it goes in. And, well, they got a lucky bounce. All right. But face off. Brought back West St. Paul. West St. Paul here goes with this centering pass, gets picked off. Ondich going back into the zone. Working the puck, chips it back to the shoots on goal. They're loose. Oh, he almost gets a 3B. Covered up by West St. Paul. All right. Face off. Won by Farmington. Goes back to Mako. Mako puts it deep back in the corner. Wesley Madsen going to cycle it. Centering pass. Gets poke checked away from Ondich. Goes along the board. West St. Paul grabbing the loose puck. Center pass loose. Ondich gave a little bump there. Bennett, another bump there. Puck goes behind the net. West St. Paul goes to the point. Otney with some pressure there. Gets it out of the zone. West St. Paul a little D to D. Wow. Dumps it in. And stop, burn, and turn. Bennett goes the other way. Working to get the puck out of the zone. Just a little love tap there. Ondich working his way up. Nice pass all the way over to Madsen. Madsen centering pass back to Ondich. And just got tipped away. Back in the corner with Miles. And Wesley. Farmington getting some fresh legs out there. Puck is tight along the boards. Puck gets loose. Now we're looking at a penalty on West St. Paul for cross-checking. Power play coming up for Farmington. Madsen, Holcomb with Bennett and Mako out on the ice. Puck back to Mako. Going to go far to Bennett. Bennett gets it on the backhand. Looking for a centering pass. Gets poke checked by West St. Paul. Puck loose. Gets picked up there by Madsen. Madsen gives a little shove. Holcomb gets it deep. Wesley's going to go after the puck. Goalie whips it around the boards. Just out of reach of Aiden. And now it's going the other way. Icing waved off. A little elbow to the face there. And centering pass out to Wesley Madsen. In the zone, takes a shot, blocked, rings the boards over to his bro. Aiden with the puck, loose puck, gets a centering pass over to Otney, off the play. Darn it. Goes back to Otney. Otney controls the puck, drops it back off to Madsen. Madsen cross ice pass. Otney gonna grab that loose puck. Nope, back to Aiden. Aiden rings it around for Wesley. Wesley Madsen getting hit from behind. We're going to see another penalty coming up on West St. Paul. Big shot, far and wide. Off to the races. Loose puck picked up by Casano. And gets it back off sides, and we're going to have some 5-on-3 play. Wow. A pipe, penalty, and some pissed off kids. That's the 3 Ps. All right. Back down in the West St. Paul zone. Grossly to take the face off. Casano. Well, they got a 2 and a 10 for that one. I guess that kid's been known for getting ejected out of like half the games. Pretty common. Probably happened again tonight. Grossly, face off. Wins the back. Gets over to Ondich. Ondich back to Kratz. Kratz controlling the puck. Back over to Ondich. Ondich gets it back low to Otney. Otney back to Ondich. Ondich working it lower. Step by step. Corner shot over to the side. Kratz grabs it. Controls it. Goes it to the back. Poke checked by West St. Paul. Going to go far. Going to take it in. And going to set up that play. Wide angle shot off into the boards. By the center. Gets poke checked by West St. Paul. And now we're going to see an icing. All the way back. We've got ourselves 17 seconds of 5-on-3 still on the clock.
Hey.
Hey.
What do we got there? Don't ask, don't tell.
Wait, face off back. Ondich has it. Picked it back over to Kratz. Kratz shoots. Gets blocked. Puck behind the net. Miles. Goes to Ondich. It's poke check. Still controlled. Back over to Ondich. Then a centering pass. Ooh. It's over to Grossly. Grossly controls it down. Back to. Ooh. Wide angle shot. Casano gets one off. Goalie blocks it behind the net. Kratz is sitting there with it. Or Grossly. Grossly gets it back down to Casano. Casano back to Grossly. Grossly's got it. Wide angle shot off the board. Can he keep it in? Miles has got to take it out of the zone. Puck going back. Farmington regrouping. Ondich is going to put on that speed, get into the zone. Let's set up for another power play. We got a little bit more time on the clock, 30 seconds of the power play. 5-on-4. Otney gets it. And West St. Paul picks it up. Well, Friday night, some fun hockey here in Farmington for a good cause. Face off. Back to Kurtwell. Kurtwell gives it to Mako. Mako back to Kurtwell. Kurtwell working up high, lets one go. Oh, poke just a little bit wide. Kurtwell battles in the corner. Sellers gets a loose puck. Looking to set it up, centers it to Levi. Goes far to Mako. Mako's got it, gonna let one rip. Tipped off the pipe. Nice play there by Levi. Puck gets battled in the corner again. Puck is battling Kurtwell and Levi. Kurtwell picks it up, gets it back to Mako. 4, 3. Oh, blocked. Penalty's over, 5-on-5. Levi Luxon is going to pick up the loose puck. Center pass, gets blocked by the goalie. Kurtwell gets drilled from behind, no call there. Levi, as the puck goes back to the D. Gets it, pokes it, picked up, and now some big hustle there by Bennett. Nice job there in the back check. That was some wheels if we ever saw him. Off the boards, gets it back deep. Bennett grabbing a loose puck. Turns, burns, and some 2 bodies on him. Puck getting picked up here by Kurtwell. Kurtwell going up, goes a geek, gets it deep, and now Farmington getting some fresh legs out there. Puck goes around the boards, going up. Levi, some pinch point pressure. Sellers there as well. And Ondich grabs that loose puck. Some deking, shot, block. Back in the corner. Puck's going far and wide. Kratz is going to grab that loose one. The rest of the Farmington team is going to get some legs on there. Matson grabs it. He's got an opportunity here. Looking, shoots it wide. Otney gets it. Tries to put it back. Gets pinched. Wesley has the puck still. Gets it back into the corner. West St. Paul rings it. Looking for their winger. Pressure's there by Kratz, and they chip it up and out of the zone. Miles, solid backing up on Kratz, and he pinched. Right kind of play. Gets back in the zone. Centering pass. Poke check by West St. Paul. Miles gets a hold of that one. Aiden gets it back deep. Loose puck, fumbling. Miles is still battling. Aiden picks it up. Centering pass. Loose, gets it. Wicked shot, but just blocked outside. Puck's going up the boards. Kratz is putting some pressure there. Gets it back deep. Wesley cycling it down low for Miles. Miles grabs it. Puts it back the other way. Wesley and Paul loses it in their feet. Kicks it back to their teammate. Trying to break it out of the zone. Not happening. Centering pass picked off by Otney. Smart IQ there. Loose puck. And rebound goes wide. All right. Puck's going to get picked up in the neutral zone by Kratz. The team's going to regroup a bit here. Bunch of fresh legs on the ice for West St. Paul. Puck goes to Ondich. Picked up by Otney. Picked up back over to Matson. Poke check. Loose. Gets it. And just another penalty coming up on West St. Paul for hooking. Well, when the boys move their legs, they're going to draw the penalties, and that's what we're seeing here. So, good hustle by the Farmington team. Puck drawn back, loose. Regrouped, recovered by Farmington. Wesley Matson gets it back over to Mako. Mako lets one rip, goes high, and now Bennett's going to pinch and keep it in the zone. Great job there. Nice coverage by the wingers. Matson gets it back, or Holcomb gets it back to Wesley. Wesley goes back to Bennett. Bennett looking, and one-timer from Coop. And some loose change in front of the net. It's picked up by Holcomb. Holcomb shoot and covered up by West St. Paul. All right. Really exciting game for the Farmtown boys. I know we're down by one, but it sure doesn't feel that way. Wesley, Aiden, Holcomb. Puck one back to Bennett. Bennett gets it back down. Centering pass. Poke check by West St. Paul. Holcomb gets it, goes back over to Aiden. Aiden back up to Bennett. And a one-timer, stop, blocked by West St. Paul. They're trying to break out. Farmington on the power play. They whip it back deep, and West St. Paul's going to get some fresh penalty killing legs out there. Mako has got the puck. Ref helped out there for the West St. Paul team. Bennett's going to regroup, take it back, give the team a second, and go back behind the net, looking for an outward break. Looking up, gets it over to Mako. Mako going to take it up the ice. Breaking into the zone. Lets one rip, but it gets poke checked over by West St. Paul. West St. Paul grabs the puck, goes to chip it up. Kept in the zone by Grossly. Grossly, little toe drag. Back. Some fresh legs coming out for Farmington. Pass just goes a bit wide. Kratz heading back to grab it and let the team regroup. All fresh legs out there for Farmington. 30 seconds left in the power play. Big cross ice pass over to Pisano, bounces, and now we get an offside. Minute 15 seconds in the period, 17 in the power play. Oh, face off at center ice. Grossly wins the puck back to Ondich. Ondich goes over to Kratz. Kratz looking for a big pass over to Grossly. Grossly grabs it, breaks it into the zone. Then they have 5 seconds to set up the power play. Gets it back to Kratz, just a bit wide, and it's going all the way down the ice. Iverson goes to chip up the boards. Loose puck picked up by West St. Paul. West St. Paul tries to get it back and going. Ondich pokes it up to Grossly. Grossly pokes it up to Miles. And West St. Paul trying to regroup back in their own zone. Here we have Kratz. Bangs up the boards, gets it in the zone. Puck behind the net. And now we see Otney putting some pressure on there. Behind the back pass. Behind the players. Grossly grabs it, almost offsides. Picked up by Ondich. Ondich, turn and burn, gives it over to Casano. Casano working up the outside of the zone. Cross ice pass to Grossly. They got to shoot this. 5, 4. Oh, tried to go for the Michigan and loses the control of the puck, but still cool. Good try there. Having a little fun out there. Nice to see. All right, end of the first period. Score is 0-1, but Farmington's looking good.
Appreciate that.
What did he say?
I didn't take it off mute.
What's up, Dave?
You guys got sound on?
Yeah. My mic's on. All right.
Now we do. After you reminded me.
The mic wasn't on?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's a bummer. Centering pass over to Levi. Loose puck. Sellers chips it back up to Bennett. Bennett gets it over to Mako. Mako lets one rip. Loose change. Loose puck. And West St. Paul grabs it. Puck one the other way now. Some nice excitement there. Centering pass picked up by Mako. Chips up the board to Kurtzwell. Fumbling puck goes right over his stick. Go D to D. Levi putting some solid pressure on there. Centering pass blocked. Controlled by Bennett. Bennett. Mako off the boards there. And West St. Paul grabs a loose puck. Goes to get it deep. Hits Bennett in the shins. And now behind the Farmington. Levi. He's grabbing the loose puck. He's looking where to go. Goes to chip it up. Gets picked off. And going the other way. Little 3-on-2. Poke checked away. Sellers grabs the puck. Gets it over to Kurtzwell. Kurtzwell has the puck. Breaks into the zone. Chip pass over back to Sellers. Loose puck out there. West St. Paul's goalie comes way out. Puck goes back deep into the zone. Matson puts some pressure on. Puck going up along the boards again. Controlled here by Kratz. Kratz slips by, hole in the ice. That happens. And then everyone's swinging. No one's getting. Big shot there. Block, save. And loose puck behind the net. Casano regrouping. Centering pass to Levi. Levi has it. Gets it over to Matson. Matson gets poke checked. Holcomb has it. Lets one rip and glove save. So we're going to mute that whole time? That's a bummer. I had some sweet, juicy commentary.
Well,
I could have got a job on ESPN with that stuff.
I'm holding you back all the way.
That's all right. Still some pretty exciting hockey. All right, puck goes up. Matson goes back, gets picked up by West St. Paul. They chip it off the board. Grossley's going to control that one. West St. Paul grabs it, cross-ice pass, goes back, tic-tac-toe. Smoking sweet save there. Way to go. Face off down in the Farmington zone. Puck in the net. Nice job there, Iverson. All right. Face off. Casano. Kochek. Puck back. Block save there. Loose change. Casano grabs it. All the way over to Holcomb. Holcomb's got the puck. Going to work into the zone. Breaks in. Cross pass over to Matson. Chips it over. Gets poked up and over the goal. Puck in the corner. Battle continues. Oh, that guy almost got killed. Puck's going back up. Controlled by Grossley. Farmington's going to regroup in the neutral zone. Breaking it back in with Kratz. That's one rip. Loose change again. Oh my God. Nice job centering pass. No one's there. West St. Paul panics and lets it down the ice. Grossley's going to grab it. West St. Paul's trying to get some fresh legs. Kratz has control of the puck. Back over to Casano. Grossley's in. Oh. Get some pressure from West St. Paul. 2-on Grossley. Holcomb's there helping out. Grabs it. Gets it back up to Bennett. Bennett's got the puck. Going to walk it. Let one rip. And a glove save. All right, face off. Wesley Matson wins the puck back to Bennett. Bennett chips it back deep. Goes behind the net. Wesley grabs it. Miles gets a loose puck. Gets it up in front. And now Wesley keeps it back in their West St. Paul zone. Miles dumping it back deep. West St. Paul looking where to go. Not a lot of opportunities. Wesley with some great pressure there. Puck goes up to the winger. Loose change. Passes across to the center. Cutting across the ice. Bennett puts some good pressure on there. Takes him into the boards. Puck cycles back, picked up by Wesley. Wesley looking for Otney, not happening. Now Otney has the puck. Backhand pass, gets it over to Ondich. Ondich going to take it over. Mako's going to rush the net. Mako shoots, loose puck. Otney throws it out there again. Mako with it, lets it rip, and collected by West St. Paul. All right, face-off down in West St. Paul zone. We have 8 minutes left in the period. Wesley Madsen to face-off, wins it to Bennett. Bennett has the puck, rips one, blocked, goes to the far side. West St. Paul trying to break it out. Chip over, icing waved off. Bennett has the puck, stops, turns, burns, throws a chip to Otney, but blocked by West St. Paul. Bennett back with the puck, takes it behind the net, looking for some opportunities. Miles looking to get off for the open break, and picked off by St. Paul, so no opportunities there, but right idea. West St. Paul goes to center pass, but blocked by Bennett. Cycles up to their D. And covered up by Iverson. Face off down in the Farmington country. Sellers, Levi, Kurzweil, Madsen, Kratz. Puck brought back, shot, blocked, back in the corner. Cycled, picked up there, and passed out, held in the zone, picked up there, and now we got Kratz going. Puck gets out of the zone. Kurzweil's going to go grab that, gets it over to Madsen. Madsen, pass, centering pass to Sellers, poke check. Grabbed, picked up. Kurzweil keeps pushing it deep. Puck going back into the zone, and more pressure there by Sellers. Holding it in the zone. Puck goes up high, back into the corner. Behind the West St. Paul net, Levi giving chase, grabs it, gets it back over to Madsen. Madsen lets one rip. Way off the boards, that's all right. Sellers is going to grab that loose puck, gets over to Kratz. Kratz, cross ice over to Madsen. Madsen gets it deep. Puck's going to cycle up. Kratz going to hold it in the zone. Kratz centering pass to Levi, just a little bit ahead of him. Levi gets it back deep. Kurzweil gets poke checked. West St. Paul breaking out of the zone. Stopped by Madsen. Loose change. Goes back the other way. No icing. Kratz is going to grab the loose puck. Gets it over to Levi. Levi breaks in the zone. Levi drops past to Kratz. Kratz controls it, using his body to protect the puck. Smart heads up hockey there. Gets it deep. Levi's got the puck, was to Grossly. Grossly works it back deep to Levi. Levi battling with the puck some more. Gets it over to Holcomb. Holcomb centering pass over. Gets it to Casano. Chips it out. Matthew's going to grab this one. Chips it deep. Picked up by Aiden. Aiden rips one. Save. Backhand pass, centering. No one's home. Aiden gets it back over to Grossly. Grossly lets one rip. Just a bit high. Mako, pressure in the corner. Holcomb, additional pressure in the corner. Puck gets wrapped around the net. West St. Paul looking to break out. And Grossly puts some muscle on that one. Nice play there by Jace. Puck goes over to Bennett. Picked off by West St. Paul, and they give off freebie. It's all right. Mistakes happen. Part of hockey. Just makes it more fun when we recover and come back and win. He just wants to make this one exciting.
We'll make an exciting game tonight. Give the audience a show.
Face off. Casano. Puck brought one by Farmington. Goes back into the West St. Paul zone. Tuck behind the net along with the goalie. Picks it back up. Really gets out of the zone. Regroup. Bennett gets it back deep. That's an offsides. Face off at center ice. All right. Wesley ready to pour on some magic here. Face off. Loose. He picks that one up. Gets triple teamed. A fancy stick handling by West St. Paul. Triples up the boards. And Madsen gets it and dumps it back deep. You got Ondich. Otney putting pressure on. Wesley gets bumped away. Loose puck picked up by West St. Paul. Poke check there. Gets it back the other way. Clear on the offsides. Wesley gives chase. West St. Paul cycles behind their net. No pressure there. Working out. Tipped. And going back the other way. Aiden Madsen grabs a loose puck. Goes and gets it deep. Some real nice speed there by Aiden. Man, that kid was going to die. Dodge that bullet. I don't think I've seen a train go that fast. All right, here we go. West St. Paul breaking out again. Miles keeps it in the zone. Ondich putting some pressure on. Nice play in the body. Gets the guy off the puck. Goes up the boards. Otney, nice body there. Some more body play there by Ondich. Puck gets cycled up. Looks like we're going to Madsen. Madsen rips one off the shin pads of West St. Paul. Got to put on the gas. Coming back. And poke check. Nice play there by Aiden to recover. Off the boards. Gets it out of the zone. And now we're going the other way. West St. Paul trying to regroup. Looking for a breakout pass. High and wide. But now they're getting back into the Farmington zone. Cutting across, drop pass, and glove save by Connor Ivers. 2 minutes, 42 seconds left in the second. All right, face off. Sellers, Kurtzweil, Levi. Puck one back by Sellers. Puck goes high and off. Mike Casano's back. He's a tough guy. He's been hit there before. All right. Puck coming back to the Farmington zone. You okay? Yeah. All right, face off. Poke check one, kick save. Nice job there by Connor Iverson. Bennett working up the side of the ice. Loose puck. Gets put back deep. Connor going to hold it for Mako. Mako gets poke check. Loose puck in front of the net or behind the net. West St. Paul breaks. Going to try to cycle with the starting pass. Goes back to the point guy. Levi puts some pressure on. Big save out to the side. Kurtzwell gets it. Off the boards. Loose puck. Somehow they keep it in the zone. And big, long, wide shot by West St. Paul. Puck goes back deep. Mako puts some pressure on. West St. Paul gets it cycling back deep to their point. Gets it across ice. Loose puck, centers it, no one's home. Back across the ice. West St. Paul grabs it, going to regroup out in neutral zone. Levi, solid pressure there. Continues to put the pressure on back in the zone. They chip it out. Cooper Mako with the loose puck. Gives it over to Bennett. Bennett looking for some opportunities. Backhands it up to Cooper. Cooper gets it, chips it, loose. Kurtzwell goes to dump it. Blocked by St. Paul. Kurtzwell breaks it in the zone. Gets it back. Gets it and chips it back. Farmington going to get some fresh legs on. Sellers put some pressure on. West St. Paul still's got it. Sellers, loose puck between his ankles. Grab picked up by West St. Paul. West St. Paul centering pass. Stopped by Aiden. Nice pass to Grossi. Grossi's got control of the puck. Going to break it in. Line change in process for West St. Paul. Grossi, some fancy stick handling there. Still controls the puck. Going to get it back to Madsen. Aiden lets it rip. Hits the kid. West St. Paul grabs it. Looking for a drifter. They didn't connect. That's okay. Cross ice pass. Stopped by Kratz. Kratz off the board. Going to Holcomb. Holcomb. Kid tries to put a meat on him, and that didn't happen. West St. Paul controls. Back. Grossly recovers, gets it to Casano. Casano skating, putting the wheels on, gets over Kratz. Kratz chips one behind the net. Loose puck goes back to Kratz. Kratz goes back to Grossly. Grossly gets it back deep. Ryan's going to grab that loose puck behind the net. A little bit of muscle placed on him by West St. Paul. Now you have West St. Paul working the breakout. Looks like we're getting a penalty here on West St. Paul. 9 seconds left in the period. Penalty on West St. Paul. Face-off down in West St. Paul zone. 9 seconds left. Puck won by Farmington. Lets it rip behind the net. Goes to Kratz. Kratz knows to get it on net quickly. Up over 1 second. 2 seconds done. The smart heads-up hockey by the Farmington power play. Just needed a few more seconds to put that one away. Some pretty sweet saves by Connor today. Are we on or are we done?
We're on.
We're good.
Anybody got the 50-50 at home or not?
Oh, I don't know. We're doing 50-50 now? Yeah, we can leave it on. We're going to do 50-50 raffle? That just makes sense. All right, for any of you on the 50-50 raffle at home, 084. That's the winner. 011. So, Andich has the puck. Gets it back to Kratz. We're in a power play. 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Andich working, cycling, gets it over to Casano. Casano looking where to go, putting some wheels on. Going to get it back into the West St. Paul zone. Trying to set up the power play. Going to cycle behind the net. Gets it over to Grossly. Grossly looking, not sure where he wants to put it, but gives it back over to Casano. Cycles, crosses, Kratz back to Otney. Otney gets it back deep. Andich has the puck. Behind the net. They set it up. Some quick center passes. Grossly one time. Poke check. Kid lost his stick. Now it's a one-on-one with Kratz. Kid's not going to have a chance. Picked up by Casano. Casano gets it to Otney. Otney gets in the zone, drops it. Andich is going to set up the play. Cycles. Going to go in. Behind the net. Little pressure. Ton of opportunities in front of the net. Gets poke check to the side. And now we're going the other way. 3-on-1. Shot covered by Connor. 40 seconds left in the power play. All right. Face off. Grab by Farmington. Cooper gets out of the zone. Has a puck up in his chest. trapped along the boards, picked up by Holcomb. Holcomb's got the loose puck, gonna break it in. Lets one rip, blocker save there by West St. Paul, recovered by Aiden. Gets it back down to Wesley. Wesley back to Aiden. Wesley back up. Looking cycle. Centering pass gets kicked away by West St. Paul. West St. Paul working the other way. West St. Paul's getting some fresh legs out there. Cooper lays on a bomb, drops a boy. Puck gets center pass over to Wesley, just a bit out of reach. Now West St. Paul's going to go deep, and offside going to be the call. All the way down, it looks like. Intentional offside. All right. Full strength. Down in West St. Paul zone. Sellers. Luxinger, Kurzweil. Face off. Put back. Poke check. Controlled back on the boards. Shot off of Kurzweil's back leg. Levi pressure. West St. Paul taking on the net, working the breakout. Chip pass, up, center pass, bouncing puck, gets kicked back the other way. West St. Paul bringing it back. Kurzweil putting pressure on. Chip pass to nobody, picked up by Sellers. Sellers off the boards, grabbed by West St. Paul. West St. Paul going across the other side. Levi, ooh, opportunities there. Ooh, Sellers got the puck, shot, poke checked away by West St. Paul. Loose puck up, loose, gets it to Kurzweil on his backhand, goes to Mako. Mako lets it rip it in! Nice play. Here we go. Way to go, boys. A lot of tic-tac-toe going on that time. And X marked the spot. Tie game, 2-2. We like to see that. All right, puck goes back. Holcomb gives chase. Puck breaks into the Farmington zone. Centering pass. Pressure. More pressure. Kick save. Cross ice. Nice save there by Connor Iverson. Grossly chips up to Holcomb. Holcomb's going to grab the puck. He's going to get it deep. Rips it in there. Loose puck. Bounces. Farmington getting some fresh cats on there. Big check there. Love to see that. Grossly putting on some of that muscle. Puck gets back deep. Casano grabs that loose puck. West St. Paul trying to get up. Trying to break it out. Pressure on. And now we're going to look at Aiden Madsen. He wants to put some meat on that guy. Kratz battles for the puck in the corner. Gets a little bit of help there from Casano. Looking to get up the board to Holcomb. Loose puck. Kratz rubs him off. Gains control of the puck. Solid play there. Gets a cross ice pass to Casano. Holcomb grabs it. Pokes it back for Casano, who's got some steam. Steams it. Gets it back into the West St. Paul zone. There's 3-on-1 there. Casano wins that battle. Gets it back over to Grossly. Oh, cross ice pass. Opportunity there. Chipped away. Now, puck is being controlled by West St. Paul. Pokes up there by Holcomb. They're going to have to go with the icing. Not sure if it's going to make it, but it does. All the way back down to the West St. Paul zone. All right. Madsen, Holcomb, and Otney. Puck goes back to Aiden. Bobbles a bit, but controlled by Farmington. Otney has it, looking to try to make some plays there in front of the net. Skates around, controlling the puck, taking 3 of the players from West St. Paul with them. West St. Paul tries to break it out, not happening. It's controlled by Ondich. He goes off the board, gets it over to Madsen, and gets it deep. Now the pressure's back behind the West St. Paul zone. Centering pass by Wesley, blocked. Ondich grabs the puck, controls it, turn and burn. Passes it up to Miles, drops it back for Ondich has it, backhander, and right into the chest pad of the St. Paul West goalie. All right. Man, my hands are so cold I can't use my touch screen. It's crazy. I'm like, it's on manual. It's like, dang, it's okay. All right, face off. Behind West St. Paul's net, they're going to cycle it around. Loose puck between the legs, picked up by Kurzweil. Going to go in. Poke checked away. A lot of bodies flying on that one. West St. Paul going to the way, gets poke checked by Sellers. Sellers grabs it, has control. Going to break it back in. Going to set up the play behind the net. Sellers still has control. Going to look for Mako. Nope. Yep. Other way. Gets fumbled. Puck goes back deep. Puck's into the corner. Kurtzel battling. Two on one. West St. Paul grabs it. Puck's going up the other way. Bennett's going to put some pressure to keep it in the zone. Sellers is there to help out. Gets it deep. Just barely kicked off West St. Paul player's skate. Now we're going the other way. West St. Paul breaking in the zone. Lets one rip. And saved by Iverson. Isn't that crazy? I can't, like, my finger doesn't work. It's weird. I am. It's all right. I don't know what's going on. Maybe my whole tablet's cold. We're both cold. All right, face off. Tied up. One. Holcomb's got the loose puck. Goes the other way. Chips it up. Grossly almost got that breakaway. West St. Paul, D to D, looking for that centering pass. Not there. I will say this about the Farmington boys. They're definitely picking up the breakout players a lot better than they have in the past, which causes the defense to make some unfavorable plays on their part. I also will say whoever's playing the music is rocking it tonight. Face off. 8 minutes left in the game. Tie 2-2. Puck drawn back. West St. Paul trying to break it in. Poke check there. Tips it around. Holcomb's got it. Goes back the other way. West St. Paul grabbing the puck. Chips it back up to their winger. Long pass. Goes wide and around. Looking to cycle. Really good poke check there. Goes high and wide. Grossly grabs a loose puck. Controls it. Gets it back over to Kratz. Kratz going the opposite way. Breaks into the zone. Team is setting up centering pass. Casano. Oh, look at that. Behind the back stick play by Holcomb. Puck back into the Farmington zone. Puck behind the net. And gets picked up by Kratz. Kratz flips up to Casano. Casano grossly. Going to break it into the zone. Oh, it's a little bit of a loose puck there. Casano controls it again. Keeps the legs moving. Grossly still has it. Nice play there. Controls the puck. Lobs one. Gets it. Oh, my God. Oh, man. That was like piggy bank money. Like the free stuff you want. Ugh. Loose puck covered up by St. Paul twice. All right, Madsen, Holcomb, Otley. Puck one back to Bennett. Bennett whips one in, gets blocked, gets it back deep. Otley grabs a loose change, gets it over to Leslie. Leslie with the center, but blocked. West St. Paul now breaking out the other way. Solo shoots it from the center ice. Connor blocks that with ease. Bennett grabs a puck, picks it up. Big shot there, blocked by Connor. Another nice save. Puck is tangled up with Mako behind the play. Ondich grabs loose puck, keeps his feet moving and cycling. Some slapstick going on, but gets it down in the West St. Paul zone. West St. Paul goes to get it out. Not happening. Wesley chip back. Otney. Ooh, opportunity here. Rips it loose change in. Yes. Yes. Way to go, boys. That's the piggy bank change that you just stole from your sister. Good job. Farmington up 3-2. 6 minutes left in the game. All right, Sellers facing off. Wins it back. Controlled. Pushes up to Kratz. Kratz has the puck. Brings it back. Going to control the play. Pulling back some of those West St. Paul players. Chips it up to Kurtzall. Kurtzall controls the puck. Rips it back deep into the West St. Paul zone. Look at that. Nice forecheck pressure there by Levi. Puck goes back deep. Levi loose. Rips it. Back. Oh, man. Opportunities galore there. Puck goes back. Bennett poke checks. West St. Paul going the other way. Trying to get behind the play. Loose puck. Shot. Block. Amazing. Puck nets off. Great back checking. Great back checking by the Farmington boys. It's not just about scoring. It's about the defensive play that matters too. And we just saw that there. All right, face off. Farmington zone. Sellers pushes it to the side. Puck out. Kurtzel puts some pressure on. Body play. Kurtzel grabs a loose puck. Sellers grabs a loose change. Now we're going the other way. Oh, some toe drag in there. Puck picked up. Behind the net. Loose puck. Puck gets cycled around. Sellers puts some pressure on there. Drops it back. Bennett pushes it back into the West St. Paul zone. West St. Paul going for a cherry pick. Not happening. Loose puck again on the side. And we got Kratz with it. He's going the other way. Oh, he gets smacked down, but gets it over to his Mets and defensive partner. Cycling back in the West St. Paul zone. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left. Cross ice pass. Loose puck along the boards. West St. Paul decides just to get it deep. Puck control by Cooper Mako. Cooper starts putting on the gas, going up. Polkin grabs the loose puck. Goes turning past to Grossley. Grossley's got a lot of sticks all over him. Oh, they want to put a bomb on him, and he's not having that. Puck along the boards. Cooper keeps him in the zone. West St. Paul decides to regroup. Now going the opposite way and a dump and chase. Bennett grabs the loose puck. Cycling it up. Chippy pass up to Casano. Casano Grossley, 2-on-2. Poke checked by West St. Paul. Can't skate. Falls down. Now we got a tripping penalty on West St. Paul. And with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game, Farmington will be on the power play. I feel like I'm drinking more of your water than you are. All right. Here we go. Face off. One. Back to Bennett. Bennett controls. Gets it back to Madsen. Bennett cycling. Goes back. Poke checked by West St. Paul. Gets it out of the zone. Cooper Mako putting on the wheels. Grabs the loose change. Gets it. Cycles. Turns and burns. Looking for an outlet pass. Finds his man. All right. Madsen. He's got control of the puck. Breaks into the zone. Some poke and dangles there. Madsen. Oh, geez. Sorry, I was a little bit slow on that. That was some awesome play. Some toe drags, some quick shots. That's what we like to see. 1 minute, 33 seconds in the power play. Oh, I thought Ondich was going to let one rip. Big cross ice pass to Ondich. Gets it back to Otney. Otney back to Ondich. To Kratz. Working the real far angles of the ice. Let's start bringing it in closer. Otney does just that. Lets one go. Picked off by West St. Paul. West St. Paul is going to break it down 2-on-2. Ondich, Casano interfering with that play. Picked up here by Kratz. Kratz going the opposite direction. He's got some buddies with him. Get it to Grossley. Grossley, Oh my God. If I had to put money on that one, I would have called that a goal. Sticky ice, we'll call it that. All right, puck goes back the other way, up into the netting. 50 seconds left in the power play. Man, 9 times out of 10, Jace hits that. Dang. Oh, wow. Let's call hockey. All right, face off. Jacer taking the face off. Big high percentage win there, like normal. Chips it up and over. Weird bounce off the boards. Jace gets it out of the zone. West St. Paul's grabbing that one. Poke check there. Andis grabs it. Battle continues. Casano lays out a dude. Puck goes to the far side. Kratz is going to grab, Kratz is grabbing that one. Looking the other way, dumps it back deep over to Otney. Otney's going to pick that up, slow her down a bit. Looking for some opportunities. Oh my God. I'm not sure what we were doing there exactly, but that's okay. He's trying to hit the cross player with some speed. Puck battle, 3-on-2. Puck one. Gets it up. Otney moving the puck with some agility there. We'd like to see that. Great stick handling, some pressure. Puck goes in the corner. Holy shit. Otney gets hammered in the corner. Puck stuck behind the net. And the battle continues. And here we have Casano playing some good smart hockey using his feet. And then you have Andis saying, I'll give you that. And some more Andis pressure there. We love to see that. Casano putting on some more pressure. Gross is going. Puck behind the net. Gross is dangling. Rips one into the pads. Scuffle ensues. Now let's see what happens there. The boys have definitely put some pressure on there. One minute left in the game. Farmington's up 3-2. Face off. Brought back West St. Paul. 57 seconds left in the game. Farmington's up 3-2. Cycling it back. Trying to pass it out. Tipping it up the zone. Bennett grabs control of the puck. Kratz has the puck. Gets over to Madsen. Centering pass to Holcomb. Goes wide. Puck goes deep. West St. Paul goes D to D. Looking for an outlet pass. Everyone's covered. Up the board. Loose change. And offsides is going to occur there. Probably going all the way. Well, I would expect that West St. Paul is going to pull the goalie on this one. If they don't, they need a new coach. They'll need a new coach here. But, yep. Goalie's getting pulled, so you're going to have 5-on-6 with the empty net. Face off. It's put back to West St. Paul. D to D. Flips it back. Farmington's all over it. Puck goes back. Going back to the D. Casano puts pressure. Pick save there by Connor. West St. Paul back again. Goes deep. No opportunities there because Grossy's put on some great pressure. Kratz going to hold it up along the board for the last 7 seconds of the game. Smart heads up hockey there. Pin it to win it. Puck goes centering, picked off, and that's the game. Now they want some scuffles. And let's see what happens here. Good job by the Farmington crew. Big win. Well, I will video this handshake because it's probably going to go to hell.
This might be a good idea.
Farmington with a solid game tonight, picking off players, playing position, smart, good stand-up hockey. Let's be honest. If we had to like judge the game by how our coaches look, Farmington will win every time. These guys are just polished. I hope you watch this. No, the coaches are looking good. Look at them. The coaches are looking studly.
Yeah.
All right, we can call it. That was fun.
Okay.